Hi. It's great to be old and be happy. You know, what a wonderful feeling. I get up every morning and I'm thinking, what a great job this is, what great people I work with. I promised a boss that I would stick to a script of 2.5 minutes. But after listening to Mike talk for 15 minutes and you for 5, I think the rules should apply to you too. On behalf of SAMSSA, I'd like to thank the judges, first of all, for picking us. I'm not very humble, but I think it was appropriate to pick us. If you're talking economic development and you're talking $4.5 billion worth of sales, and you're talking over $1.5 billion of annual salaries and benefits, you picked the right group. We're also thank you. We're also 10 years old, and this is really interesting because we're 10 years old at the same time. And we were around when Mike Atkins started the Sudbury Mining Journal, and it's been a benefit to him and to us, and I'd like to thank Mike. It's not in my minutes here, but Mike, I want to thank you for doing it. It was a gamble. I know our companies are profiled all over the world because of what you did. I want to thank and congratulate the winners, the other winners. I've lived in this community all my life, and I can tell you that no community grows unless it has multiple parts, multiple pieces of energy, and multiple approaches. And I'm so proud to be here tonight with the winners and the past winners in the past who have made this community better. Mike Castron, our first and longest sitting president, was supposed to be here tonight, and I was going to have him come up on stage, but he caught the flu. I'm not sure. Is flu spelled G-O-L-F? I'm not sure. Mike, with a core of interested citizens, was a major force in the formation. I mean, we're talking 5 people sitting in a room who said, you're going to nationalize our industry. You're going to make it an organization that is going to have to tell everybody their secrets. And these people stuck with me. I'd like to acknowledge our present board and our SAMSSA table tonight. President Kirk Petrosky, Vice President Tom Palangio, who's not here, from North Bay. They have an evening session. Mike Mayu, who was in Quebec City watching the Sun play hockey. Andre West, who was here tonight and always been very faithful and supportive, from B&D. And by the way, you got great coverage in that film. Like free advertising, that's worth the investment. Dave Rector from Sault Ste. Marie for his foresight and vision. So we do have a fairly good representation. I'd like to introduce you to some of our founders. We try to mix the table up a little bit. And Todd Harold, who is also our board member, Dennis Petrie, and Adam Tonis. These were all people who stuck with us in the beginning and actually made it a benefit for you in this community. I'd like, if those people I just announced would come forward, we're going to be taking a picture. I'd like you to come up to the stage because I shouldn't be here alone. I feel very lonely. I'd like to close off with two things. I'm now up to 2 minutes, so I'm going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I want to thank Paul Reed, who's sitting next to me. Paul Reed and I, 10 years ago, sat down in his usual place at Tim Hortons, and he said, you know what, we've got a good industry in this community, but we got to get something done about it. Would you like to do it? I said, well, I want to retire. Paul said, no, after. That's 10 years ago. So I want to thank Paul for that coffee, for the idea, and his friendship, because we've been working together and it's been turning out really well. And I want to thank David Robinson, I don't think is here, for his academic context for helping us build the cluster and the mining excellence. For the message for the future should be to collectively promote our community. And I'm really sincere. If we all said worldwide, as we are in our group, that we sell intelligence, we don't sell bolts and nuts and equipment. We sell intelligence. Medical. Mr. Roy is here, but I told him, I said, the hospital has intelligence. We should be talking about our intelligence. And if we say it enough, maybe somebody in Toronto will hear us, and somebody will believe us, that they're not the only people who are smart. Look at their mayor. He's not here, so I'm not going to worry about it. I wouldn't say that in Sudbury about anybody. I would never say anything like that. And I close with this comment. I was walking about 3 weeks ago when I was told we won, and I was quite proud of our board and people I work with. And I was walking down the street, it was snowing, and it said, I kept thinking, why are we going to be there tonight? What's the reason for that? All of a sudden, I looked up, and I was coming into the Y, and I looked up, and I saw this huge bright light over the top of Northern Life. The building was aglow. And I said, my God, it's a sign. I'm like Trudeau. I'm walking in the snow, and this bright light is shining in the sky. I walked in the front door, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I could hear chimes, a chant in the background, and a quiet sound, and I could smell incense burning. And all of a sudden it had a sign that said, "The Great Guru." I said, my God, this is the answer. I can get my answer here. And I walk in, and all of a sudden this profound-looking man with little hair looked at me and said, "My name is Abbas." And I am the answer to your question. I looked at him, and the chimes kept ringing, and I said, "Can you tell me why I'm here?" And in a very profound and deep thought, he put his hand to his chin, and he looked at me, and he said, "Yes, you are here because we're all in it together. Go forth and prosper." What a night that was. Thank you very much.